talking about peanut butter in Africa. So you might not think that there's a lot related to that, but there actually is. So there's a few concepts that we've talked about in class that really ties these two ideas together. So I'm going to talk about historical geography, how peanuts actually got to Africa, because they're actually not native. Physical geography, where they grow and why they grow, and also population and health geography, how peanut butter and peanut supplements are used to help children who are suffering from malnutrition. So this is a peanut farmer in Cameroon, and peanuts are grown all over Africa. When I think of peanut butter, I think of this really sweet, really smooth, kind of gross peanut butter that we as Americans ate a lot. But in Africa, they actually have different brands, and their peanut butter is a lot more savory than ours. It's not as sweet because they use it in place of actual peanuts in soups and stews, mostly in West Africa, as a protein addition instead of meat. Like if they didn't have a chicken or something, they could put in peanuts, and that would be a similar kind of protein additive. I just want to point out here, so these are all cute brands. These are South African brands, but this is it says groundnut paste with creamy peanut butter. So the word groundnut and peanut are kind of used interchangeably all over Africa, but groundnuts are actually the native food. They're not as sweet as normal peanuts, but they're the native equivalent of peanuts, and peanuts were actually brought here from South America to Africa during the Columbian exchange. So as traders from Europe went from Africa to the Americas back to Europe, they brought peanuts to Africa, and they spread all over West Africa and the Sahel because of a few properties that peanuts have. They're nitrogen fixing, so they don't need fertilizers or added nitrogen, which is awesome because they give back to the soil and can be used in crop rotations to help increase yields of other crops. So that's awesome. And they also don't need a lot of water, which is helpful in places like the Sahel and West Africa, where the intertropical convergence zone and rainy seasons really affect growing patterns. So because they are so versatile and so hardy, they can withstand a lot of dryness and are really great. So this is a map that I made kind of showing centers of peanut production. I mean, peanuts grow all over, but they are mostly grown in West Africa, around here, and into the Sahel. So Sudan, Nigeria, Senegal, Cameroon, all those countries produce a lot of peanuts, and they grow really well there, and they're a great supplement to the local diets. And then population geography. People eat peanuts all the time, but they're actually really good to help with malnutrition. So as we've talked about in class, Africa's populations are booming, especially in the Sahel. And as populations grow, and as women have more children, a lot of times they have to wean their babies a lot sooner than they would because they're having another baby. So a lot of times kids don't get their mom's milk as long as they normally would if their moms weren't having so many babies. So they lack a lot of basic nutrients from a young age because they don't get their mother's milk. So in order to combat that, this is a symptom of malnutrition from those big bloated bellies called kwashiorkor. To combat kwashiorkor and other malnutrition diseases, there are some organizations that have used peanuts, locally sourced peanuts, in a granola bar kind of thing. This is one version. It's called Plumpy Nut, which is kind of a weird name, but they use peanut paste, brown sugar, milk powder, and palm oil to create a therapeutic food that's really easy to access. And so here's a photo of a mom and her babies with some of the Plumpy Nut, and it helps them get the nutrients and protein that they need to live a healthy life and to have a healthy childhood. So there's a lot more to peanuts than meets the eye. Peanut butter is awesome, and it's not only tasty and good for you in certain ways, but it can give back to people who need it. So there you go.